Great transformational plan.
GTP. What will be the tagline? When you say GTP?
Wait,
what? No, Great GTP.
So you guys have become political marketing strategists now.
Well, now I was talking about branding.
Okay. So Alan Kyerematen says that his ministerial portfolios are not going to be more than 40. Do you agree with him? And what are the lessons we can take from 123 initially in the first term appointed by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo? For which Alan Kyerematen, based on his announcement, could be great pointers for us at least to have a small size team of government and then also save Ghana a lot of money. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm thinking GTP, Ashi. Oh, it won't be bad. Well, call us now.
But how?
We're putting, Alaji, okay. Alaji, good morning.
Good morning, Bella.
Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
All right. So do you agree with the cap on number of ministers that is being introduced by the founder of Movement for Change?
I agree with him.
Okay.
But first of all, let's greet Excellency former President John Dramani Mahama for how he spoke and people copying it now.
Okay.
But I just want to ask a question. Movement for Change leader, Alan John Kojo Kyerematen, he also passed for the Akufo-Addo 125 minutes at that time. I doesn't see any wrong for that. When Excellency John Dramani Mahama came out saying that he will reduce the minister, now Dr. Mahmoud Obamya, the Baulaya, he also copied, saying that he will reduce the minister.
How did he copy,
Is it?
Carry on, sir, but keep it short for us.
But I don't hear it clear, but I'll just do it. You see, when we look about the leaders, when Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo came to the government, saying that he is in a hurry to do the work for the country, I don't think he is hurried to create looting and sharing for himself. Look at the scandals going on in the country. Madame Cecilia Dapa.
Okay, so
Alaji, thank you.
Well, yeah. I was trying to get
Alaji,
his points. I think it was running around in circles.
I think he wanted to add his own.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
But valid question maybe if he says that if Honorable Alan Kyerematen was part of the 123 ministers also, did he find anything wrong with it then?
At the time.
Yes, and did he raise any objections? I mean, what has changed this time around that he's decided to become, president?
No, the buck stops with the president, even if you had an objection, as we have come
I don't understand.
Anyway, we have Aziz Dolla joining us now. Hello.
Hello, Na. Good morning.
Good morning, Aziz. Thank you for joining us on the show this morning.
Thank you very much.
What are your thoughts on...
My regards to all of you.
We respond.
Thank you.
You're
no
live.
more greetings. Go ahead.
Tell us what your thoughts are on the subject.
Yes, I think 40 ministers isn't bad because President Mahama has already promised 60 ministers. And I think our population is not that much. Currently, we are getting closer to 35 million or so. So if Alan is also taking the lane of President Mahama, I think it is in the right direction. If you go to Nigeria, they have a population over 200 million, and their ministers are not much. But in Ghana here, President Akufo-Addo, in Wali, they will say, he appointed 120 ministers, and it is no good. So if Alan is taking the lane of President Mahama, it is a welcome news. Right. But then I will say good morning to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, wherever he is. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. You can also call us. Let us know what your thoughts are. The number is on the screen. Alan Kyerematen has promised that the upper limits for the number of ministers he will have in his administration, should he become president, would be 40. What are your thoughts on that? Is that a good number? Do you think it's possible? Which ministries do you think should merge or which ones should be scrapped so that we can attain this number of ministers and number of ministries? Call us and let us know. You have some messages, Roland?
Yeah, I have this one for Mo Ajama, a regular watcher of us, and says that he lives in Kumasi, though. It says that, well, I believe that the Constitution should specify a fixed number of ministerial positions over nearly 30 years, over 30 years, as we have introduced this Constitution, because this would ensure that the executive branch is not bound by the constitutional framework and prevent arbitrary changes to the cabinet size. I agree with him.
So the Constitution should prescribe the number of ministers.
Yeah. We should
Is
have,
that even possible?
I wonder.
Well, we have another call on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. So what's your name?
My name is Caleb, calling from Bawimala.
All right. 40 ministers, too little or too many?
Okay. For my view of this 40 ministers that Alan is saying, I want to know that as he was in power, that Akufo-Addo appointed him as the Minister of State and Workforce Affairs or something. He was part and these 100 and something ministers were appointed. So why is it that he didn't give any advice that this thing that we are doing is too much, let us reduce it? But now you want to come to power.
But you realize that he was just an appointee. So even if he advised, even a whole vice president is saying that he needs the steer to make certain decisions, when many of us thought that he should have been involved 100% in decision making. So does it not mean that maybe the president, decided what he wanted to do regardless of what advice you gave him?
Please come again. I didn't get what you're saying.
I'm just saying that. So if the president is the one that makes, the decisions as to how many ministers he wants to have, even if Alan may have advised him, it's really up to the president to decide whether to listen to him or not. Don't you think so? Okay, I guess we lost him. Yeah. But you know what? Let's just take a look at some of the ministries that Alan is looking to have under his government. And it's interesting that he's merging food, agric, and fisheries into one. And then there's going to be Attorney General, which is a statutory requirements. Then finance, economy, trade, and industry.
Yeah, we used to have that.
Yeah.
For agric.
For agric? We used to have fisheries under agric.
Yes.
Oh, I see. So at what point did we separate them?
I think Nanado did that.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So we have Minister of State for Trade and Industry and Minister of State for Finance and Economy. Then there'll be Defense, Education. There's also Health. Minister of State for Traditional Medicine and Mental Health under the Ministry of Health. Interesting. Well, let's hold on. Now we have a caller.
Yes, we have a caller from WA. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
My name is Abdul Manan, calling from WA.
Great to have you. Tell us what you think.
Yes, thank you. I think it's a laudable idea, but like many people said, my brother just Aziz Donla said, I think they are all copying it from the former president John Dramani Mahama. But he was the first person that talks about reducing government size.
Okay, but you think it's a step in the right direction?
It's a good idea.
Okay.
But I think he was part of the 100 and something ministers President Akufo-Addo appointed.
Okay.
So how come at that time he wasn't having a problem with that?
But we don't know if he had a problem with that.
No, I don't have a problem with that. But I think since at that time he should have raised an issue that the ministers were many.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you for calling. You can also call us and let us know what you think. It appears a lot of our callers, are on the same page about whether or not he raised an objection at the time he was minister. But, well, maybe we're moving forward and maybe it's a sudden realization. Maybe he suggested at the time. We don't know. But now he says this is what he's going to do. What do you think about that now, moving forward? Let us know. The number is still on the screen. We can take a couple more calls before we go on to Johnny's Bites. Bella, you were reading the number of ministries.
Well, I think this time around, maybe we can project it on the screen so everybody can also look at it. So under the Health Ministry, there's going to be a Minister of State for Traditional Medicine and Mental Health.
Or alternate, okay.
It's very interesting.
And mental health.
I'm happy to see mental health on it. If we're going to...
Why?
Because we've been calling for more awareness creation and, more intentional work towards mental health.
But doesn't that also fall under the ministers?
Which others do we have?
We have Interior.
Okay.
We have Infrastructure.
Minister for Infrastructure.
Yes, and under that we'll have a Minister of State for Transport Infrastructure. That's roads, and highways, railways, aviation, public transport systems, and port and harbors. Then we'll have Minister of State for Communications and Digitalization. All under infrastructure. And then Minister of State for Public Housing, Water Systems, Sanitation.
Communication is under infrastructure.
Yes. Waste Management and Sewage System. Then we move to Energy and Natural Resources, lands, water bodies, mining, oil and gas, renewable energy. But even under that, we'll have a Minister of State for Lands and Mineral Resources. Then there's Youth and Sports, Local Government and Decentralization, Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Tourism and Culture, and under that's Chieftaincy, Religious, Creative Arts, all merged. Okay.
Chieftaincy.
Then Labour will have Manpower Development and Employment Relations. And then Women, Children and Social Welfare, PWDs, aged and vulnerable groups.
Makes sense.
Then we'll merge and consolidate statutory departments and agencies with similar functions and overlapping mandates, and institute the mechanisms to promote meritocracy, including awards, recognition, and rewards for exceptional contribution to the formulation and execution of public policy.
This is the word of God.
Thanks be to God.
And already there are a number of messages also coming. This one is coming from Pete Tenge, who is wishing the wife, Rita Tenge, happy birthday as well, and says that all these are laudable. What is important is to ensure that the ordinary Ghanaian is safe and has good economic well-being in his pocket. Okay, that's a great one as well. John Agringi, as well as the wife, Juliet Ayamba in Kumasi, they say that everybody is offering a solution. The most important solution is to ensure that the Ghanaian is safe, has good economic livelihood, and is able to fend for themselves. All right.
I've not perused the document, but I'm also interested in what quota he will give to women in his government, because we've had 40%. From the NDC, as well NDC, we had 30% under this government as well, which all were not met. So I'm wondering if he also has a percentage for women, and if he's going to ensure, if he does become president, that these, female representations are going to be seen or manifest under his government. I'm curious to find out.
Anthony Nikponu is reminding me that President Kufuor created fisheries out of Agric, but later it was dissolve into having a deputy minister rather in charge of fisheries.
Oh, I see.
And he says it's quite interesting. Alan says 40. Has Dr. Baumia named any?
No, not that I know of.
He says Cheddar says 25. Kofi Akpalu says 22. Dr. Yariga says 20. I'm not too sure where you're getting it. Janet Anabla.
Yes, so I think Cheddar
18?
mentioned that,
Okay.
yes, he was looking at 25 or so.